Okay, and we're online. Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Netzor. I have done a few benchmark videos in the past, but not very consistently. Maybe only 2 or 3 actually. And they've been very sporadic. But anyway, so we've got Wolong running, and I've got a 3080 Ti EVGA and 5800X stock clocks, 4.7 gigahertz, and then 32 gigs of RAM running on 3000 megahertz, not 3200 megahertz. Just take a note. So it might impact my CPU performance a bit. I'm struggling to get it on 3200, and then running on NVMe drive Gen 3. And yeah, nothing of the other specs should matter too much. Running latest drivers and Windows 10. Not getting into Windows 11 just yet. I'm a very late adopter when it comes to those things. I stayed on Windows 7 until 2018 actually, when I was kind of forced to go to Win 10. Anyway, so I'm running 4040p and max settings. Well, it's on best quality preset and all the prioritized resolution settings. This menu you'll see in a bit is quite a bit weird. So just to go through the settings, is best quality. Mode, prioritize resolution, you get prioritize FPS as well, and maximum FPS, there's only a 120 cap, but you see I struggle even to get 100 right now. But you'll see in a little bit when we go through all the settings, you'll see currently it's on max. When we go through all the settings, we'll then see that quite a few of them have a huge impact, and some of them obviously have a bigger impact than some others. Like texture quality doesn't have a huge impact as far as I could see. So running on 4040p, I'm getting about 70 FPS. I was hoping 75, but it's actually more along the lines of 70. Sometimes you'll see it go into the mid 70s. But you'll also notice my GPU is running quite hot. Yes, I've got a intense ambient temperature. Ventilation is also not too great at the moment. I'll need to look at that for the room. But yeah, it's just a hot climate, and I'm also not getting max CPU usage on the 5800X. This might be because I only run my RAM at 3000 megahertz. Now, you'll say, why don't you run it on 3200 megahertz if it's a 3200 megahertz stick? Well, the XMP profiles aren't working for me. Manual overclocking, I've tried it a little bit, but got frustrated. So I'm not messing with that. 3000 megahertz already bumped me up quite a bit from the stock clock at 2133 megahertz. Well, not in this game specifically. I haven't tested that because I've been on 3000 megahertz for a while. But yeah, in other games, it definitely helped me to use XMP. It's a weird one. But yeah, 3200 megahertz not available. It might affect the CPU performance, but let's go into the settings. And this is going to be a little in-depth, and let's try the first preset, best quality versus standard. So best quality, we had about 70 FPS. Let's try standard, and then we get best performance. So standard, let's go down. You'll see jumping up to 93, so that's 20 odd FPS jump. 100 there, but obviously a less complex scene. 110 there. You'll see it's stuttering now and again, like just now. This is apparently a known thing. So please don't, you saw that all those stutters, it could be compilation stutters, I don't know. This is my first time playing the game properly. I haven't ventured past this point before. I just checked the settings. So excuse me if I play bad. I'm not really going to play anyhow. So that's standard for you guys. Let's try the best performance, and still on mode prioritize resolution. Yeah, this is much better. Getting, well, with the fire and fog or the smoke effect, volumetric effects, we're getting about 100, maybe a 90, mid 90s FPS. So not always great. And this might not be the best representation of the game because I'm barely actually traversing any levels, and I know there are levels where you see a lot more, but where you see more complex scenes, perhaps, like the more open areas with the open vistas, beautiful water, or the valleys and things. I know that the game has locations like that and rivers and stuff. But yeah, okay, so that's favoring resolution, but quality wise we are sitting at low quality. So let's now see what the bottom of the bottom might be. Best performance, and then mode, prioritize FPS. So this is still 1440p, but you'll immediately recognize that. Look at the clothing, for instance. The effects, there are many artifacts on the fur, and I suspect we're seeing reconstruction right now. So probably FSR, because I don't think DLSS would look this bad in this game. It's running a lot smoother, but we are prioritizing performance over obviously resolution and quality, and it's also low quality. So what I'm going to do now, you'll see GPU performance is a bit limited. We can't get past 120, so sorry for that. But we're still hitting 85% utilization, 85 or 90. Okay, so graphics, let's go. We now go best performance, and we're already at resolution. So let's go prioritize FPS, but standard graphics. So this is probably like the effect details, textures, and so forth. The or let's say the graphical fidelity settings, and then prioritize FPS and resolution, I believe, is like a toggle between reconstruction or not. So this one has probably got a lower reconstruction target, but well, settings is, sorry, I was confusing it. Standard graphics settings, sorry, and the reconstruction is still like, might be FSR or something like that. I would suspect FSR. But now we're gonna up the graphics to quality, and then we have prioritize FPS, which is looking like upscaled resolution. So now we're getting about 98 to 100. So about the same that we got with low settings, but resolution. So I definitely prefer the resolution. Prioritize resolution. Best quality, no, not really. But I do like, look at the fur again, guys. You'll see that it doesn't look reconstructed. It has a little bit of aliasing. I'm not going to do the Digital Foundry zoom 400% things. This is just live recording, no editing. But it looks, the hair and things look very decent. And you can see the animations look pretty smooth as well, although FPS did take a dip there, but you're only seeing 60 FPS on YouTube. Okay, so I do prefer the resolution, but I think then maybe setting standard, we haven't tried this. So standard settings, oh wait, we did, sorry. Yeah, standard settings with resolution looks pretty decent, but we're getting only 80 to 90. But I think that's still pretty, acceptable. I think I like the resolution mode. So now let's start delving into some of the, the settings under the hood. So I know this is pretty in depth, guys, but I just want to say I do like these types of videos. I've only done a few benchmarks in the past, and I didn't voice over any of the settings and so forth. I just showed the basic ultra 4K and ultra 4040p etc. experiences. But I do really appreciate these types of videos, and that's why I decided for Wo Long, let me do the same just for myself basically, and if somebody watches it, then they might get some information out of that. So, and I really enjoyed videos like Digital Foundry, and Daniel Owen does a good job, and there's this other El Anabalista or someone who does performance analysis between consoles and PC and stuff. I really, really love those types of videos. So I'm just giving it a shot, very free form. Just give a thumbs up if you guys enjoy it. I know it's not the best way to present stuff, but yeah, let's get cracking. So first of all, you have to press, well, I'm using controller, so it's R1 or L1 to get to the other settings. On PC, I have no idea how you would get to the other, so it's Q and E. So that's how you navigate the menu, guys. I don't know why it's showing the L1, R1. I think even if I plug out my controller, it's going to do the same. But I'm not going to risk plugging it out now, because I had an issue where if you plug it out, then you have to restart the game whilst it's plugged in for it to, pick it up. Anyway, so sorry about the long-winded mode of speaking, but yeah, I just needed to get that out of the way. That's how you navigate the menu. Q&E, let's go to mode. So you saw prioritize resolution, but standard, then you'll see everything's on standard quality, enabled some of the reflections, subsurface scattering, etc. And let's put it on best performance. Then you'll see low quality, textures, shadows, close render distance, and LODs and stuff like that. All this, and motion blur even disabled. That's weird. Okay, so everything's basically off or on low, and then best quality, everything's on max. So that's pretty simple, guys. But I think the one that we need to check for is standard. So standard quality, everything's enabled and on standard quality. So that's pretty cool to know. Everything's essentially enabled on standard or high quality, but high quality has got some obviously slider things here. So it's not just enabled or disabled. So I'm gonna put everything back on max. Just to, I know I didn't show this, guys, but my resolution, I can't change it right now because it's borderless. Maybe on full screen. Just to show you guys, I can't get into the menu. Never mind. I wanted to show you guys that I'm on 1440p, but it doesn't seem like this screen resolution thing is working. Sorry. Okay. So let's put it on best quality. You see everything's max, and we know that we get about 60, 70 FPS. It's pretty intense on 1440p with everything on resolution mode. So let's start doing some of the settings. I can't unfortunately now change the resolution. 4K wasn't available when I tested it previously. It only had ultra wide, like 3440 by 4040, which is really weird. Anyway, so textures quality on low, everything else on. Let's see. 71 FPS, so I mean that's decent gain, but it's only about 5 or 6, I think. Just want to put it on high again. So it was 71 with on, off 70. So texture quality in this scene at least doesn't seem to do anything. Oh wait, high quality. My bad, guys. 72. Yeah, so you gain about 2. That's really not worth it, I think. Let's ambient occlusion. Let's switch off ambient occlusion. 1 FPS gain in the scene. So not a huge difference. Let's put that back. So our benchmark's about 71, 72. Screen space reflection. Let's take that off. No real gain. Maybe 1 FPS if we're lucky. And subsurface scattering. Once again, about 1 FPS. I'm just going to put it back. So it was 73 with it off. Let's switch it on again. 73. Yeah, so it's basically no change in the scene, at least. It's not a very complex scene, I understand that, but it should be indicative of most of the gameplay, at least. Give or take 10% FPS. It's also not the obviously least complex. Like if I look this way, then I get almost 10 FPS more. So yeah, let's stick to the scene over here. Let's add this character to the scene. Okay, 73. Let's go to the graphics. Shadow render distance. It's only close and standard. Let's leave it on. Model LOD. Okay, 72, 73. Really not a big changer so far. I think I didn't test each one yet, but let's try volumetric fog quality. Put it on low. Look there. Okay, still same. 72. Okay. I think it was the other one then. Volumetric. Oh, that's resolution, and this is quality. Quality has the biggest effect, it seems. There we go. 20 FPS, guys. There is the culprit for most of your performance woes, in the scene at least. Volumetric fog quality. So if you want a good experience out of the bat, or out of the gate, sorry, I mean, just put that on low. And I don't know if motion blur really has a big effect. Let's switch it off. Let's see what it does. So I'm just gonna go to the fire. Where's this other character? Okay, let's stand here. So 89, 92. That's a huge gain over volumetric fog quality high. So let's leave that on low, and then I think if we did switch off the resolution, that didn't, yeah, it didn't really make a difference there. Okay, so what I actually want to check is motion blur. So 93 is our benchmark. 93, 94, at least motion blur only really comes into effect when you turn your camera. So yeah, I don't know. Let's switch it on again and actually use it. I don't think it makes a difference, but I do prefer switching it off in most games. So unless I'm playing on a low FPS console game where it's like 30 FPS, then motion blur helps. Okay, so that's basically it. Just volumetric on low. I think the rest can stay on. So if we go texture, yeah, so resolution definitely on. Mode is prioritized resolution. I prefer that. I do not like the way the fuzzy look with prioritized FPS. It's like some kind of upscaling. But yeah, so any other settings, graphics, this is all 4. I can't change resolution right now. I'm not sure what happened. I think it's after I restarted the game. There's something weird going on. But I couldn't choose native 4K. I could only get ultra wide, which is not full 4K. And yeah, I haven't tried the ultra wide. And that's about it concerning graphics settings, guys. I think the volumetric fog is a huge effect. Let's give it a go and maybe just change not the mode but the effects to low, or the textures, sorry. So textures and model quality on low didn't really make a big difference, guys. It really doesn't have a huge effect. So I would probably just leave this on, even on a lower quality, or not lower quality, I mean lower performing GPU. Then you can just maybe, yeah, you can maybe try it on standard. I don't know if that's gonna help. But yeah, you might as well just leave it on standard. At least get some effect, you know. And I'm dying because I didn't really read how to deflect in this game. Anyway, so there you have it. 4040p. I mean, if you use prioritized FPS, if you want 4K output, you should be able to get this kind of performance with prioritized FPS, but on native 4K output. So that means you're getting a 4K output at least, and whatever upscaling is being done. So I think you should be able to get about 70 to 80 FPS with that settings. And the only thing you switch off for now is volumetric fog. The rest, it doesn't seem to have a huge effect, guys. So yeah, there you have it. Enjoy the game, guys. Let me know in the comments what type of rig you're running. I know it was a long video. It's my first time trying this type of thing. Haters gonna hate, so leave the hate as well if you wanna. But yeah, see you guys later.